Hey y'all, it's time for another new makeup releases, hot takes. There are so many things that I want to talk about today. You know what I always do, I went to Indie Makeup Spotlight Instagram, I went to Trend Mood, and I just pulled up the stuff that I felt like talking about. And for some reason, so much stuff made me feel feelings. And so I can't wait to get into it. Like, this is the best kind of mood to be in about makeup, to be filming a hot takes video. If you're new to my channel, if you've never watched my hot takes, I'm Hannah. Hello. I'm glad that you're here. I'm going to talk about makeup and beauty stuff that's new to the market. I really prefer to have quality over quantity in my own makeup collection. I strive for fewer, nicer things. I'm not like a total minimalist or something, but I also don't want to have so much stuff that I can't remember it all or can't use it all. There's stuff that's new to the market all the time, beautiful stuff all the time. A lot of times, even when I'm really compelled by stuff, I'm talking through it and trying to remind myself that just because it's beautiful and just because I love it doesn't mean that I need to buy it. So that will be the tenor of this video, especially because I'm so excited and inspired by some of these things. If that kind of beauty content sounds good to you, I hope you'll subscribe. And now let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. Y'all, I forgot to give the definition of a hot take in the intro, which is what I usually do. Here it is quickly. In journalism, a hot take is a piece of deliberately provocative commentary that is based almost entirely upon shallow moralizing in response to a news story, in this case a beauty news story, usually written on tight deadlines with little research or reporting and even less thought. As usual, that is what I'm doing. I haven't really done that much research. I haven't thought about it very much. I'm going to be doing some shallow moralizing, and my commentary will be provocative. I mean, I don't know if it will be provocative. You'll have to let me know if you're provoked by what I say. So I pulled up the stuff and it got all mixed together. The indie stuff and the Trend Mood stuff got all mixed together. So we're just going to be we're mixing indie and mainstream, and we're also kind of mixed chronologically. Like, some of it has been out for a while. The first thing that's coming up has been out for a while. It's the Salt New York. What are they called? The post that I pulled up on Trend Mood doesn't have like the title of the products, and I can't remember what she decided to call them. But Salt New York makes these cream blushes and cream bronzers and cream highlighters, cream cheek and lip product. And I did review them recently. I'll try to remember to link that video down below. And in my review, I was like, they're beautiful in all of these ways, but I like muddier colors. It was like my main criticism. I was like, I wish that the colors were just muddier and muckier. I like cheek colors that have more brown in them, more yellow in them. And then what did Salt New York do but release these mix-ins for the product? So it's like a yellow one, a red one, a black one, and a white one. And you can muddy up the colors that you have or slightly change the tone or lighten or darken them by mixing in these mix-ins, which is so fun and a really good idea. And, an answer to my gripe, which was clearly already in development, probably for months, if not years, before I had the experience that I had with Salt New York. So Salt New York, many steps ahead of us, and that's exciting to see. The swatches, I don't know, it's very attractive, very beautiful looking pieces of makeup. I think that they released all 4 of these mix-in colors in the more translucent formula and also in the more opaque formula. So you could also affect like the translucency or opacity of your product by choosing one or the other kind of mix-in. I don't feel compelled to get them for myself. I've got to say, part of the reason is that I got the little 4-pan palette from Salt New York. Like, it fits 4 pans and I got 4 pans. And so I wouldn't have anywhere to put these unless I bought an extra palette. And I don't want to go buying an extra palette because I already have beautiful magnetic palettes and I already have so much makeup. Even though this seems like it would be right up my alley because it solves the exact one complaint that I had about those products, I just don't want to buy them because I don't want to buy like a whole other palette, and I would want to put them together with the ones that I already have and they wouldn't fit in the palette that I already have, which is great. I'm like saved from myself, because if I had, for example, bought like a 6-pan, like a magnetic Salt New York palette that had room for 8, and I had only bought 4 or 6 products and there was 2 more spots, I would be really tempted to buy 1 or 2 of these to fill those extra spots. This way I'm not. I'm sure they're great though. And I love this release. I think it's a great idea. Was that take hot? I don't know. I feel like that was an extensive and thorough and well-considered take. I'll try to get hotter and hotter as we go on. Here's a very quick, and if I do say so myself, very hot take about the rebranding of KKW. which I know almost nothing about. I've never tried KKW makeup. And I just saw this note that was posted on Trendmood. It said, we'll be shutting down the KKW Beauty site so that we can come back to you under a completely new brand with new formulas that are more modern, innovative, and packaged in an elevated and sustainable new look. Packaged in an elevated and sustainable new look. If they're implying that they're shutting down the site to rebrand and re-release products and that the new version of KKW is going to be more sustainable, then I think that's fantastic. And I actually really love this model of, and I'm saying if, because who knows? I mean, I feel like sustainability in beauty, a lot of times it's just a marketing tactic and stuff isn't as sustainable as people are saying that it is. So I'm not saying that I buy this completely and that I believe that the rebrand of KKW is going to be like a sustainable beauty brand. The jury's out, like we'll see about that. But I feel like many brands have, been making makeup for years and they have their branding, they have their packaging, they have all of their stuff, and they've already gone down this path of like using a bunch of plastic, for example, or using unsustainable production practices or, using inhumane production practices or something. And they're like, well, we're already doing it. We're driving the bus. Like we can't stop now. And that's the excuse for not making changes to the way that the products are produced. Even if it's all just marketing and it's all garbage and they don't actually end up doing anything good. I do like the idea, like the concept, the action that KKW is modeling by shutting down completely and kind of starting over. And if sustainability real strides towards more sustainable production and especially packaging, like biodegradable packaging, for example, would be amazing. If that's included in it, then I love to see that. I wish every single makeup brand would like shut down their website and then relaunch with vastly more sustainable packaging. I wish that would just become like a thing. Like if you're not doing that, you're not with the times. Or if you're not doing that, you're like in danger of being canceled. So that's all I have to say about this. I kind of I'm not really following the future career of KKW Beauty with very much interest. Like I'm skeptical that it's actually going to be like a vastly more sustainable rebrand. And I guess I'm loosely curious about what the products end up being, like the change of aesthetic, and I'll probably comment on it when it happens. But the actual hot take is that when I read this, it made me think, like, what if everyone would do this? What if every brand would just be like, we need to stop using plastic. So in order to make that shift, we're going to like take a break, change everything, virtually eliminate plastic from our packaging, and then relaunch. Like, what if everyone would do that? Can everyone just do that? Thank you. Thank you and good night. Okay. I just am going to put this picture up on the screen and I just am going to say, this makes me feel feelings about shapes and text and iconography, history, wealth. I don't know. I don't even really care about Chanel No. 5. I mean, I've smelled it before. I think it's cool. I feel like, do people wear it though? Or is it just a thing that if you're rich, you like get it for your significant other for an anniversary? Is Chanel No. 5? I don't know. But here's the thing. Look at it though, with the cone-shaped thing. I don't even know what that is. And the pouch-shaped thing, and everything's so beautiful, and I just don't even care what it is. But I love it in the way that, like, if you're making a collage from old magazines, you might cut this one out and include it in your collage. I don't love it in the way where I'm like, I need to own all of those things, or I'm going to buy all of those things, or I even need to own one of them. I don't need to own any of these. I just like the feelings about the history of beauty, this kind of like classy, updated, repackaged and represented collection of stuff inspired by the thing that's famous from the brand. They just nailed it. Don't need it, not gonna buy it, but they nailed it. And that's all I have to say. Thank you and good night. Colourpop. So Colourpop, I don't know. I haven't purchased anything from Colourpop in years. And I've historically not gotten along well with lip products from Colourpop. I kind of like with every time they would, for a long time. There was a time in my past during which I was intrigued by everything Colourpop. It was like the lip products would come out and they would seem too good to be true. at the price. You would just be like, oh my gosh, these beautiful, the Luxe lipsticks, for example, remember those? It was like, oh my gosh, these beautiful lip colors, all the colors that I've been craving. The formula is supposed to be perfect, and you're just like, gotta get them. So you like go to get some, but then you have to get $30 worth of stuff to get free shipping, and then you end up getting $50 worth of stuff, and then it didn't end up being an inexpensive purchase. Even though the lip products are just $7, you still ended up spending $50. So it's like not so budget after all, but whatever. And then you like get them and you like put them on. And then a month later, it's like I would find myself not reaching for those lip products really ever, because they'd be too silicone-y, or they would wear away too quickly, or the formula would sort of start to feel like it was going off, even though it only had it for a month or two. It's like they always disappointed me in some way. They always kind of ended up feeling not what they were cracked up to be. That happened to me like over and over again with every lip product, every formula of lip product that Colourpop released. And eventually I just stopped buying them, and I kind of stopped buying Colourpop altogether. I have a single eyeshadow collection that I really love. And the Colourpop single shadows and pressed glitters that I have in that collection, I really love. And I put them in my palettes a lot, and I use them a lot. But I've sort of removed myself from the Colourpop customer list really like years ago. And sometimes they come out with stuff and I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks amazing, and then sometimes they come out with stuff and I'm like, what? And a lot of times I don't even talk about it. But when I'm like, oh my God, it looks amazing, then a lot of times another voice is like, but remember the experience that you had before? That would probably be that way with this. And that's how I feel about these fresh lips. The shine of a gloss and the long-lasting powder. She must mean power. The shine of a gloss and the long-lasting power of a lip stain. So this looks to me like it's gonna be like a classic water tint, like a K-beauty product. Watery, glassy lip tint, lip stain, tinting stain. I hate that kind of product. It always just like sticks to my lips unevenly, makes it look like I just ate a popsicle, but not in a cute way. The stain will like turn bright pink, like watermelon strawberry pink. And it just never looks good. It never is elegant. So when I saw this, I had a moment where I was like, oh, I love lip products. And then I was like, Hannah, no, you don't. This looks like you'd hate it. And that's my hot take. There is something else from Colourpop that kind of tickled my fancy, but it's not next. I'll talk about it in a minute. What is next is another lip product that made me go, oh, I love lip products, and also made me go, where has Bite been for like 2 years? So this is Bite Beauty, #revealed, new lipsticks, the Power Move. Hydrating soft matte lipstick. Here's how I feel about Bite Beauty. Back in the day, I felt like they were the top of the top. Like if you were gonna get if you're gonna treat yourself to a lip product, a luxurious lip product with the perfect tones and undertones and the perfect formula, healthy for your lips, perfect in every single way, luxurious, you went to Bite. Like I feel like there was a time during which everything Bite came out with, I wanted. And there was like a laundry list of Bite lipsticks that I wanted, different colors. And the names of the colors were like in the makeup zeitgeist. Like that's how much of a grip they had gotten on us collectively. And then I feel like they just sort of faded into the background. They had that foundation that didn't go over very well that they immediately stopped producing. And where have they been since then? I just feel like they haven't released anything for no reason. I feel like there wasn't a scandal. They didn't get canceled or anything, but they sort of just faded into the background for no reason. So like what was going on? Like what has been happening with Bite? That's like my more meta hot take about this. And then I will say, but now it seems like Bite is back. And this makes me it actually makes me seriously want to do a self-sponsored review, because I have so many beautiful lip products. If I wasn't on YouTube, if I didn't review beauty products, I would just be like, oh, interesting, might swatch it in store. But I wouldn't be like, I gotta buy one. I wouldn't be like that, because I have plenty of beautiful lipsticks. And any color that I see in this lineup of admittedly beautiful colors, any color that I see here that I want to wear, I could find like a dupe for in my existing lipstick collection. So I don't need to run out and get it. But I'm intrigued by the fact that Bite is finally releasing the kind of thing that they always used to hit out of the park. You know, like this always used to be the kind of thing that would put Bite like on the map of the moment. And I wonder if this will put them on the map of the moment. I wonder if this sort of indicates that they're starting to get back to doing what they know they're good at and doing it well. I've always had kind of a soft spot for Bite. So in the sort of shallow way in which we root for brands, I kind of hope that is the case. Maybe if I do some kind of like reviewing a couple of pieces of new makeup video, like if I do a thing like that anytime soon, maybe I'll include one of these lippies in that video. Throw Bite a bone. ABH is over here looking like Makeup by Mario, looking like KKW, looking like Rare Beauty. Like everybody's climbing on the cream product train, and that's all that I have to say about this. It's like creams across the board. How quickly I went from having any cream product of any kind get in amongst me and stir me up and make me want it, to feeling like all of these releases of cream products are so blasé and I have absolutely no interest even in swatching them in store. And it's because everybody started doing it, and they started doing it in kind of a boring, predictable way. And that's what ABH is also doing. And that's my hot take. Oh, you know what? I actually do have kind of a more subtle, maybe more nuanced hot take on this. The surface level hot take on this Physicians Formula yummy bronzers is ew. Ew, David. I just don't want this in my life. But here's my actual hot take. I feel like this is like 2 or 3 years too late. I feel like and it's not to say that scented makeup was really popular and is no longer popular. I feel like some people have always loved it and always will, and some people have never loved it and never will. And the same is true of like food themed makeup. Like maybe food themed makeup really was having a moment, and that's what I'm talking about. Back when Glamlight was doing, what was the one, the pizza palette or the hamburger, the first one that everyone went completely gaga for. If Physicians Formula had released these donut, butter cake, butter cookie, butter coffee bronzers, then I think they would have been like supremely popular and people would have been like full face of food. Maybe people did do that. I just think that it's hitting weird on my ears right now. I'm like I see this and I'm like, what are you doing, Physicians Formula? Like now that I'm talking it through, I'm like, oh yeah, now I remember food makeup did trend and then it stopped trending and they missed the trend. Like they should have released this during the food makeup trend. But my initial reaction to it wasn't even that concrete. It was more just like, it just feels off. It just feels like the timing is off. I feel like they should have developed these alternatives to the original butter bronzer closer to the time when the original butter bronzer became as iconic as it did. I just feel like we got some stale donuts over here at Physicians Formula. Tom Ford, I'm just putting this here because I have been known in the past to purchase a Tom Ford product. Or actually, both of the Tom Ford products that I have were gifts. One I bought with a gift card and one was like a straight up gift. But I have been known in the past to feel like the occasional Tom Ford product is worth it. And I love a blush and I love a luminous blush. So I saw this and it was like, Shade and Illuminate Tom Ford blush. The one with the more orangey blush and the more bronzy, that one looks really pretty. The one with the very, very neutral, pale sort of bronze color and then the pale peach color, that one looks really pretty. I just saw this and I was like, in a vacuum, this is right up my alley. But I really have enough powder blushes for myself right now. If these were cream cheeks, I would be much more tempted to give them a try. I'm definitely going to be able to stay strong and give them a pass, but I felt like they deserved a mention in this video because they're so pretty. It's the kind of thing that really gets me going. Oh, this is interesting. When I saw this, I was going through all of the pictures, right? And I saw this Chanel Les Beige Eau de Blush. It's the thing that Chanel does where it's like tiny little droplets of the color cosmetic suspended in water or something. It's like micro encapsulated. They're calling it microfluidic technology. Microfluidic technology, a lightweight, transparent gel texture with pigment, delivering a water fresh sensation. I have a Chanel Les Beige product. It's the Fluid Illuminator. I got that for review and I reviewed it and I wear it all the time and I talk about it a lot on my channel. I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh, a Chanel Les Beige liquid blush. I've never effed with this microfluidic technology and I don't know how I feel about it, the like bursting capsules of gel. So I saw it and I was like, oh, wow, maybe I should review that. And then I was like, but I'm not about those bursting gel. And then I started scrolling through to look at the swatches and the swatches are ridiculously watery and light. And I don't like a gel for the cheeks. That's what's ultimately saving me. I don't like a gel blush. I don't like a gel blush of any kind or like a jelly cheek stain. I just don't like that kind of texture, like the water stain quality of a blush. It just never goes well for me. And that's what these clearly are. But But look how incredibly pale the swatches are and on this incredibly pale person. Here's the other Colourpop product that kind of got me going, the Cherry Crush. Although I've got to say, I don't like these kind of pink toned reds as much as I like more orange toned brights or like watermelony or coral. These ones are leaning really into that sort of cherry, like rich, ruddy cherry tone. But I love an all red eye, like a bright red eye, and I love an all red palette. This just, again, Colourpop has been releasing palettes out the wazoo, and I have just been skipping them and not mentioning them. And I saw this and I was like, I kind of want this. It's not it's not the kind of want this that makes you go buy the thing. It's the kind of want this that makes me dupe the vibes. So I saw this and I was like, I kind of want this. And what that means for me is that tomorrow morning when I am sitting down to do my makeup, I'm going to find the reds in my collection that look remotely like this, and I'm going to do an eye look that is similar to an eye look that I would do if I had this. And that's going to be enough for me. This is another example of things that don't usually make my heart go pitter patter, making my heart go pitter patter. All three of these colors from Holo Taco. I have not historically been into nail polish for a long time. I had a nail polish collection of 0 products. Like, I did not own nail polish. I either had bare nails or I was getting them done, and there was like no in between. I wasn't at home like painting and removing polish. However, during quarantine, I got some press-on nails. That was fun. And then I got a couple of nail polishes. And then I was like, I regret this. I don't paint my nails. I hate nail polish. I'm never gonna paint my nails. About a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, my nails, I don't know, they'd all grown out like the same length. They were looking really healthy and strong, and I was like, I'm just gonna paint them. So I got a nail polish, one of my static nail polishes, and I painted them, and I loved them, and I loved how they look, and they lasted a pretty long time. So then when that was chipping, I removed it, and then I painted them again, and I loved it. And then I've painted them again for the 3rd time with this like little French manicure style. Check it out. I used like curved French manicure stickers to block off the tips. And then I did the tips with an iridescent polish. I'll leave all the details of these polishes down below in the description box. Anyway, I paint my nails now. I've become like a nail painting bee over here. I'm really enjoying it. So usually when I see nail polish releases, I'm like, nice, but not for me. But I saw this and I'm still like, nice, not for me. I am a nail painting bee, but I don't need to suddenly have like 25 nail polishes. I'm okay with like the handful that I have. That's going to be enough for me. But this looks very beautiful. I especially love the blue and the kind of like milky peach. But I also love the opaque kind of creamy milky watermelon. I just think these are 3 stunning colors. This is another thing. I saw this and I was like, what is that? That is so beautiful. Weirdly, it's some new release by KKW, even though they just announced that they're about to rebrand. So I don't know what's going on there. I just love the colors. I actually kind of like this set lacquer for your lips in a pot with a little brush. I'm not going to buy this. If I wanted my lips to look like any of these 4 products, I could just mix my own from what I have. I'm fine. I've got a number of glosses and stuff. I just love this picture. I love the way the textures look. I love these like sparkly, shiny, lacquery pots. I just love it. It looks very, very pleasing. And it's kind of interesting to see something that's not a gloss and not a lipstick and not a gloss balm hybrid, but something else. It's like it's a set layering lacquer in a pot with a brush. It's just, we haven't really seen nobody's out here like releasing this kind of thing. And that's interesting. And that's my hot take. Okay. Fenty Beauty Hot Cherry Gloss Bomb Heat. I want it. I'm not going to buy it. Like most things in this video, I have suddenly discovered or rediscovered, but sort of for the first time discovered the joys of a red gloss. For me, it's a coral gloss. I have this one coral colored lip gloss. It's the Coral Gloss by Persona Cosmetics. I've been wearing it almost nonstop, and I finally get the point of like a semi-sheer red gloss. How it can make the lips look really alive and juicy, but without the bold statement of a red lipstick. I'm intrigued by all the red glosses that I'm seeing. I really like Fenty. I love a plumping gloss. So this release of like a stunning, bright, kind of like red hot, fire, juicy Fenty gloss, it's just really got me going. I just like, I want it. I don't want it enough to buy it because I've got one. I want it and I redirect my desire into just using the beautiful coral gloss that I have. I love, love, love the way that it makes my lips look. There really couldn't be anything better than the one that I already have. The fact that I like it so much is what makes me know that I would like this one. So why don't I just stick with the one that I like? If I like it so much that it's making me want another one, then I really like it as much as I could possibly like anything. So I already have what I need. I already have what I want. Okay, we're getting into some of the indie stuff, which I think somehow got shuffled mostly towards the end. This intrigued me. New singles from Menagerie Cosmetics. I've never tried Menagerie Cosmetics, mostly because it seems like they've released a lot of palettes of mattes, and they've been like these bold mattes, like that. I remember that inky purple matte palette that was really pretty. I admired that from afar, but I didn't need it for myself. And I think I also remember people saying that the matte stained, and that sometimes does kind of like make me shy away from stuff. But this image that Amy posted on Indie Makeup Spotlight reminds me so much of the shadows from the Natasha Denona Gold palette. It really looks like the gold palette has been swatched. I don't know what the other singles look like, but it's cool to see an indie brand. It's cool to see this kind of thing, this level of shine and this balance of like warmth and this like warm red with gold in a slightly duochrome gold shadow. It's cool to see this from an indie brand. This is the kind of thing that really makes me sit up and take notice in eyeshadow. Okay, I have to shout out my friend Teresa from Teresa is Dead for her collab with Lethal Cosmetics. Lethal is Dead is the name of the palette. So brilliant. Of course, my first thought was, did they consider Teresa is Lethal as the name of the palette? Because I think that would have been just as brilliant. Teresa is Lethal. Lethal is Dead. I just feel like Teresa deserves all good things. All good things. And I'm really, really happy to see this and really, really proud of her. Odins Eye has released a new collection, The Saga of Freya. It looks lovely. I don't feel compelled to buy this. Again, I have lots of eyeshadow. I'm not really buying eyeshadow right now. Odins Eye has sent me some palettes. The reason I brought this up is just to say that Odins Eye sent me some PR. Like they sent me a bunch of their palettes a while back, and I just picked one and I gave the rest away. The one that I kept, I've been using it kind of a lot, and I'm really impressed by the shadows. I think that they make good shadows. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, interesting. Not for me, not the kind of thing that I want to spend my money on, but I trust that the quality is good because my experience with them has been really good. Oh, this possibly has gotten me more than anything. This is an indie brand I've never heard of, Bishi Beauty. So this is a post on Indie Makeup Spotlight. Just look at the picture. It's these jewel tones, but you can tell that they're shifting their duochrome. So it's like, it's got that grungy rainbow, but it's also a very alive rainbow, special rainbow. And I love the square pans. I love the super textured, creamy, crushy. I just look at this and I'm like, somebody knows my dreams. Like somebody has tapped my brain the way that you tap a maple tree for maple syrup. And the stuff that came out, they like put it in an eyeshadow palette and then they sold it. And like, I just look at it. I feel like this is what everything should look like. This is what makeup should look like. So Bishi Beauty Blends is an Etsy shop. Handmade, hand-pressed makeup. This is the Deities collection, the Egyptian Deities collection, which also really gets me going because I'm a big fan of ancient Egypt stuff, Egyptology. The shadows are called like Anubis and Nefertiti and stuff like that. And I think that we're going to end here because it's just like the best, the creamiest, the prettiest, and the most glorious thing, and that's my hot take. Am I gonna buy it? Once again, no. I have so many eyeshadows, and you know, I'm really excited to see this. I feel like if I were gonna buy some eyeshadows this week, these would absolutely be the ones, right? They would, without a shadow of a doubt. And you know, I could do like a self-sponsored review of this brand. I could get a little, maybe one of the, you know, collections of 4 or 6 and review the formula and let you guys know. If you're passionately desirous of that, then let me know in the comments down below. For the most part, almost for the part entire, I'm reluctant to spend my money on eyeshadows just because an eyeshadow is a thing that takes a really, really long time to use up. They are powder products, so they tend to last for years and years and years instead of going bad. And again, I already have so many. So even though it looks like the formulas of these shadows are what make them so special, like the combination of the formulas with the colors, even though that's true, I can make the eye looks that I would make with this collection with what I already have. And in almost every case, that is what I choose to do. So that's why I'm not leaping to buy them. But I will say, round of applause, round of vigorous applause. That is it. Those are my hot takes for the week. That's everything that seemed worth talking about to me on Indie Makeup Spotlight and Trend Mood. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope that it was enjoyable, and I really hope that you're taking extra good care of yourself today, because that's the only way you're going to be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.